Fairview coming up next. Hello YouTube, hello viewers, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I welcome you back with a new dog food review and a short tribute to Responsible Pet Owners Month with thedoggyperspective.com. So let's go right ahead and get into it. Just a short story. I was just thinking about something. I was thinking about being responsible for Sophia and how being responsible for Sophia has shaped me into the pet parent that I am today. Did you ever really give any thought towards what it really takes to be a pet parent? There's a lot going on. So what triggered this thought is now this is just my opinion, me making an observation. One day last summer in 2021, I noticed a behavior displayed by my neighbor, and this is what you refer to as doggish. What I mean is that the owner is more dog-like in their thinking, and that thinking is outwardly displayed. Personally, I believe that is risky behavior, and it can lead to accidental on purpose skirmishes between the dogs. Now, this is a neighbor who has seen me walking with Sophia day after day for at least 2 years, and then we've been in the neighborhood at least that long. Well, enough of being a looky-loo, they finally engaged in pet adoption. Now, I personally know that their home is smallish. It's let's say like a 2-bedroom home, and it's filled with a family. It's got a mom and dad. There's 5 children, and now there's 2 dogs. Okay, so this neighbor never ever used to acknowledge me. If I said hello directly, there was never a response, and I'm 100% certain that they can hear and that they can see. So let's believe that it must just be me then. But now that there's a dog to walk, surprise, surprise. Anytime that they see the dynamic duo that is Sophia and me, they are hateful, they spew hostility, and they immediately begin to struggle for control of their animals. This baffles me each and every time. It is just a certain clumsiness that becomes obvious the moment they recognize me, and they always behave in a manner that lets me know that they're not totally in control. They're not in control of themselves, or they're not in control of the dogs actually. And you know, again, this is just an accidental on purpose situation just waiting to happen. Now, these dogs are terriers, and they're somewhere between a mini pinscher and a dachshund blend. Now, I have no idea how an adult could not be in control of 8 pounds of dog, right? Even if you got 2 of them, you can be well in control of them, right? But I like to let you know that if subconsciously this pet parent is hateful towards us and would like to see a negative interaction between us or between the dogs, right? It'll boil down to being between the dogs. Well, then all there is to do is to feign struggle and to let the grip slip on the lead, right? And then there it is. Then all heck breaks loose. So that's what I mean when I describe this person as doggish. And I'm more focused on the fact that they're obvious, they're hostile, and the hostility of the animal is firmly set into their mind, right? And you can literally see that this neighbor has internalized those instincts there, and sadly you can see their mind struggling for the balance between right and wrong behaviors and actions in the moment. So anyway, fast forward the story a little bit. Within 3 months, they were actually expecting a litter of pups. I was immediately discussed it. And after I did some snooping just to determine if they were breeders or if they had been asked to breed the dogs or if they had a new business venture in mind, I found out that the answer was a resounding no on all three of those fronts. Do you mean to tell me you weren't responsible enough to spay and neuter? Gee whiz, so now I'm thinking with worst case scenarios. If they're not spayed and neutered, why not skip the vaccinations too? I mean, why wouldn't they? Far-fetched, overstretched, or possible, right? You be the judge. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about how did this happen? Did you and the family just sit around and in the house and watch the dogs copulate? I wonder. So a short while later, the litter was born and their house was even fuller with a total of 8 dogs, right? And after more time passed by, all the pups were given away except for this one. And now whenever I see this not too careful, always on the verge of losing control, hostile pet parent, now balancing 3 dogs single-handedly, I just say to myself, be careful, okay? So a bit about this, because this is Responsible Pet Owners Month, but I'm speaking about irresponsible pet owners. Isn't that right? There are lots and lots of examples of responsible pet owners whose dogs lead healthy and happy lives. But this month, for Responsible Pet Owner Month, I would like to focus on the ramifications of being irresponsible, because there are no shortcuts to responsible pet ownership. It is a job. It is a job, and those tasks include regular exercise and proper keeping of your animal, annual checkups and required vaccinations, proper food and proper feeding, safekeeping, that is your leashes, your housing, your guards, your restraints. They need dental care. You need socialization for your pet. They require formal training. In other words, you cannot just walk around with a dog and look good or whatever. You actually have to care and take responsibility because you took ownership. It's tied together and you cannot do one without the other. Okay? Now, what is an irresponsible pet owner? How is this person defined? It is the definition, okay? A person with more than 2 minor violations or more than one that's major would be labeled irresponsible. An irresponsible pet owner would need to sterilize and microchip all of their pets within 30 days. Those labeled as such would be unable to obtain any more animals for 3 years. Now, I'm not making this up. This is law, and you can find this online at google.com. Well, I love that. But the thing is that people go around the rule. And any puppy that's picked up from, let's say, the backyard of Nowheresville is proof of this. Oftentimes there's no documentation of birth or documentation of lineage. There are no early medical records, and you just don't know about the sire and the dam. You don't know about the health of the sire and the dam dog either. So purchasing sick puppies, well, that's a whole nother video, and I'll get back to you on that later. So again, there is a law for that. If you're looking for the name of the law, it is Irresponsible Dog Owner Law, right? And this was created because some people they just don't care, and you have to force people into doing what it is they're supposed to do normally. An irresponsible dog owner law is intended to identify and it's intended to penalize chronically irresponsible dog owners The penalties for such include losing their dogs and paying a substantial fine. This type of law is in accord with the general legal presumption that dogs are friendly to mankind. So please remember to take pet ownership seriously. If you've been to the blog and you've read the article, thank you. If you're watching this video, please just know that I don't want any of us to be penalized or found in this category. Remain diligent and observant in your community. Watch for infractions, and if you see something, say something, won't you please? February is Responsible Pet Ownership Month, and when I first began blogging, this is the month of the year that really fascinated me, it intrigued me, and it still does, because there's so much going on for dogs and for pet owners and for organizations during February that I've become completely involved in this niche, right? So February is Dog Training Education Month too, and you want to know what else I love? I love the convenience of dog training apps that will allow pet parents to train their dogs from home. Right now, with the virus going around, it's super duper handy. It has even more value than before, and it's complete with ongoing coaching and train on your schedule options. Now, pricing, what are you comfortable with? I found these apps to be competitively priced just right. So again, you don't have to be excluded because of price. It just depends on what you're comfortable for. Go for it. Add this on to what's great about February. It is Spay and Neuter Awareness Month during the month of February as well, right? Busy. So what you should know about Spay and Neuter, if you're a responsible pet owner, is that female dogs should be spayed before they are 5 months old. Small, medium, and large breed dogs should be neutered before they're 5 months old. And I did learn while researching Spay and Neuter that if you have a giant breed, you should spay and neuter at 12 to 15 months of age. Apparently, before that, it stunts their growth. Am I right or am I wrong? If you know, leave a comment below. Okay. Now, again, I mentioned price briefly. Price should not hinder a new pet parent or a veteran pet parent from completing any of these training or spaying or neutering tasks. Just ask, because there is no shame. Get them what they need and feel good knowing that you've done the right things for your pets. Now, there are tons of complimentary services out there in the community. You can do this. Remember, just ask. On a personal level, I believe that educating pet parents is effective for improving the lives of companion dogs. If you show just a hint of concern and offer sincere instruction, that can change lives. And if I can help increase your knowledge and create awareness with regard to behavior even a little bit, my mission is accomplished. And animal welfare is all of our responsibility. At the end of the day, it's about the dogs. From our table, Purina Pro Plan dry dog food is the food that we're reviewing today, specifically the Purina Pro Plan adult toy breed chicken and rice formula. Okay. I love that this is a food that is easy for the doggies to chew. Sophia recently had her teeth cleaned, and I was worried that the large size kibble pieces she's currently feeding on might add to her temporary discomfort. So I switched up to a smaller kibble as a precautionary measure. These are perfect, and I have to say that yes, these are dry kibbles, but they hit different when they're served. They roll forward in the hopper quite a bit smoother, and I noticed that when I scoop them up, they seem moist in a way. But when I transfer these, when they transfer from the scoop to the dish, that's where I can really sense the quality of the food. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you go to serve the food and it isn't appealing, it's appalling. And because it is, you refuse to serve it to your dog. But the quality is obvious as you handle the product. Now, after 4 weeks of this feed, Sophia's eyes are so bright, and her winter coat has become magnificent. Her teeth, they're perfect, and she is attracted to the sense of the food. And I have to say, I have not seen Miss Sophia truly excited about her dish of dry food for months. So, Karina, thank you for that. Keeping in mind that it is cold out there right now, I am feeding her a little less than is recommended, strictly based on reduced activity levels due to snowstorms here in our area. And Sophia is a senior dog now, currently 11 years of age. We are approaching a key 12th birthday this September. It feels good knowing that her bones and her teeth are supported with this formula, and that her skin and her coat are nourished well too. Managing her skin in the winter is a must because she's exposed daily to extreme weather conditions, and she is playful. She sometimes just does not want to come back in from the snow. Even so, I do not want to see her with dry, itchy skin. I pinky swear that you will see the change in your dog. Sophia's winter coat is not just thick, it's lustrous, and that comes from the inside out. This food surprisingly has garlic oil included in its list, in its ingredients list. Now, what's interesting is that normally you wouldn't feed a dog garlic. I mean, it's not good for the dog. But Karina, they know something. In fact, a little bit of garlic in pet food is claimed to be able to assist in preventing blood clots, in lowering cholesterol, and act as a flea and tick repellent. And that is because the garlic in your dog builds up over the course of some weeks and seeps into the oil of her coat. Now, that was an interesting flip. So if they got a hold of a whole bunch of it at one time, man, really bad reaction. It can be considered toxic. But in this small amount, the garlic oil changes their coat for the better. So that oil was an added caveat of this food. It's a nice surprise, and it's well worth the price. Now, do you know what? Sophia's eating, but I don't hear any crunch and any munching, right? The food has a moist quality to it. I assure you it is dry, but you will just have to try it out for yourself. It's a 5-star food. We love it. It's perfect for feeding right now while it's snowing outside. And if you recall, I had Sophia on WAG and Solimo for a while. Now, I swear to you, it took Miss Sophia 10 months, the better part of 1 year to do those bags. And although, to be honest, I did interrupt her a lot with canned foods and toppers and other dry food samplers because I didn't want her to be bored to tears with her daily dish. But anyway, less is more sometimes with a shift in activity levels. A 10 to 12 pound dog, and right now she's 11 pounds, gets 117 grams of the food. But 3/4 of a cup works out better blending in toppers and or a tablespoon of wet food for variety. Now, I just adore these teeny weeny pellet-sized morsels of food, and I know Sophia is considered a small breed as opposed to a toy breed, so normally the bite will be bigger rather than what we're feeding her today. But we are experimenting with bite, and it is working out well. Okay, so again, this is a 5-star food. I gave it 5 stars as well. Sophia is responding to it really well. I do love it. It's absolutely a thumbs up from me and from the blog, thedoggyperspective.com. And at that point, we reached the end of our dog food review. So thank you for watching. Thank you for visiting the blog and providing all the support and all the comments and the thumbs up. We really do appreciate you. We are growing right now, and we're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. So again, thank you very much for your support, and we'll see you in the next video.